Hey y'all, this is Joe out here at the cabin at St. Bernard Acres. This is Friday, let's see, September 25th, I reckon. And finally getting to come back out here. I'm telling you what, Max is taking over our lives, being a puppy. And I haven't got to come out here a lot. You can see there's some leaves changing color. It's starting to happen. Leaves are starting to fall, and maybe that's why they call it fall. Who knows? But a couple of projects today to work on. I've got, see that like split tree there, the double tree, and the one to the left of it, that's pretty much dead. Those are coming down today, and this black cherry tree that's growing up over the cabin, that's coming down today. So those are going to be gone. Those are going to become firewood. I'm not cutting them down. I'm not experienced enough with that yet. But I've got a guy coming out that's going to take them down, buck them all up, and then me and Nick will come out with the trailer and I'll take them all down to the barn to cure. And then we can split them later. But I should get a lot of wood out of that stuff, out of those trees. The other project, the main thing, finally, is to get the solar hooked back up again. Get the batteries hooked back up. And I got them in the box. Out here, the batteries. So I will be, I had to buy new number 2 AWG wire, and run them through the wall here out to the battery box, and cables coming from the solar panels will go out the window now. I closed my window and I'll put them through. I'm gonna drill a hole through the wall and we'll knock them out. I need to get this hooked back up so I can get everything plugged in again. So it's gonna be a busy day out here, and then we'll be out Sunday. Like I said, start taking all the wood down to the barn. And I had a subscriber send me a couple of really nice solar LED outdoor lights, motion sensor lights. They look kind of like that, but they work off of solar. And each one's got their own little solar panel that I can hook up. But I've got motion sensor cameras, so these motion sensor lights will help out. Can't stop adding to security out here, and those lights are going to help a lot, being solar and motion sensor. So Patty, I want to thank you very much for sending them, and like I said, at least Sunday at the latest they'll all be hooked up. But let me get started on my batteries while I'm waiting on my tree guy. That's all my cables to do the batteries in series and parallel. And if y'all remember, when I ran the number 8 wire from the panels over to here, I didn't have quite enough coming up through the window. So I had to make extensions, put these MC4 connectors on them. And actually that worked out really well, because I'm going to be able to take these and just run them through the hole and take these wires back out the window and just connect them back up. So that actually came in pretty good. I don't have to disconnect anything here. The only thing I'm taking off here are the cables that went to the batteries, because they are nowhere near long enough now. But I had to get the batteries out of the cabin. So I'll take the battery cables off of here. make 2 new cables to go from these bus bars out to the box that the battery bank is in. But because this is a 24-volt system, you know, I use these 0 gauge cables. Not because of that, but I happen to use these because they happen to fit. And that's what I had. Since I had to buy more, all I needed was 2. Actually, I probably could have done it with 4 gauge. But I went ahead and bought 2 gauge. So I don't have to worry about anything. I'm just going to drill right here and see what happens. Alright, so hopefully you can hear me over the chainsaw. I got these cut to the length I needed to come through the wall and attach to the battery bank. So now I'm going to crimp the ends on them. I have some shrink tube that I prefer to use maybe later, but I don't have power out here, so I'm just going to use electrical tape. It serves a purpose. But you're going to want this to go in there as far as you can. And I'm going to cut it right here. And this will push in just like that, and you put it on this little smasher here. Put that in there like so. Get all of that in, all the way up to the insulation, and then hopefully the deck won't fall. Sledgehammer and a big whack. And that puts it on there. See that? That crimped it. So now I'll take some electrical tape not that anything's going to get in it, but since I don't have power, I mean, I'm not going to drag out the generator and everything, just do 4 of these. With the shrink stuff, I have a whole bunch of it here, but I'm not going to use it. I'll just give it a good twist with electrical tape. And be done with it. I'm going to tell you what, this is a whole lot cheaper than buying pre-made cables. And I can cut it to any length I want. Now I do want to square off this end because I got it at an angle. These cutters here are awesome. So, good cut. Alright, so it's going to be kind of hard to show you everything, but what I'm going to do is hook the batteries up now. I have the positive and negative coming from the bus bar inside the cabin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect these in series first. These are these are 12 volt batteries. When I connect two of them in series, instead of having two 12 volt batteries, I'm going to have one 24 volt battery. These are 115 amp hour batteries, so the voltages increase in series. The amp hours will stay the same. So I'll still have 115 amp hours, but it'll be at 24 volts. So we'll start down here on the end, where you can't see. Not on purpose, but that's how it worked out. And you want to keep these things as clean as you can. I'm going to bring Gail's blower out here, leaf blower, and blow all these off here directly. So I'm going to connect negative to positive on these two batteries. And you want to be very careful. You don't want to be touching a bunch of metal and everything, or touching any of these together. So get them good and tight. And you'll see when I get down to these, I put these caps back on them just to help from accidentally dropping things on them a little bit. So I'm going to take these off. My negative to my positive on these two batteries. So now I have another 115 amp hour 24 volt battery by connecting these. So now what I have is three 24 volt batteries at 115 amp hours. Now I'm going to connect these in three batteries basically in parallel. In parallel, the volts remain the same, the amps increase. So when I run these and by parallel, I'm going to connect the cable from negative post on this battery. Remember, this is now one battery. because this negative, or this negative and this is connected to this positive. This is a series that makes this one battery. I have a positive terminal and a negative terminal for this one battery. To run it in parallel, I'm going to go from this negative to this negative to this negative. That and this positive to this positive to this positive. That way you have your 3 series and your parallel. That's how you set up the battery bank with 12 volt batteries to be a 24 volt system. So I'm going to take that one off, this one off, and this one off. Before I tighten this last one down, I have my positive and my negative leads from the bus bar on the mechanical board. So I'm going to run I'm going to go opposite corners. So I'm going to put my negative lead on this battery's negative post and run the positive on this battery's positive post. So I'm going across all 6 batteries I'm going to be pulling from and putting into. So let me do this one. I gotta take this one back off. And I'm going to put my positive on this battery. This might spark a little bit. We will see. Yep, it always does. I could have actually made this lead a little bit bigger. Alright, let me tighten this down. Put my cap on it. So now my battery bank should be all wired back up. Now I have to hook up the solar panels. And again, my bad luck of not having a long enough number 8 wire made me put on little jumpers. Turned out to be good luck because I can just hook them up under there with as long as I need. These are my cables from the solar panels that I put MC4 connectors on. And these go to the charge controller inside that I also put MC4 connectors on. And This made it real easy to disconnect and connect my solar panels back up. So I'm going to put these back together. Put them down in there for right now. Alright, so all this is hooked up. Now I got to go inside and turn things on and see if anything blows up. I have everything hooked up and I see no smoke yet. So I'm going to start turning this stuff back on and make sure everything is working. Because the batteries are isolated right now. The battery bank's all hooked up, but it's turned off here from going to the inverter. The breaker is turned off here, going from the charge controller to the batteries. So they're like completely off. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on the batteries and make sure nothing goes gooey. That should turn on my inverter, or my charge controller. It should turn on. And hopefully I don't get a red light. So I'm going to flip the breaker. I've got a 100 amp breaker here for the batteries. So I'm going to turn the batteries on. That stayed on. The charge controller came on. And let's see what we got here. The batteries, well, it's got boot up. Hopefully I get a reading here. Nothing from the PV. Okay, the batteries are at 26.5. I'm very, very happy with that. Because they've been sitting for a week and a half, 2 weeks with no charge going to them. Because Max, our puppy, got in the way and work got in the way. So now I'm going to turn on the solar panels. I'm going to let the solar panels be connected to the charge controller. This is where I should get the green flashing light. So let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. So I've got power coming from the panels. Let's see what I got coming in. Uh, 58 volts and 13 amps. And it's kind of cloudy out, goes in and out. Now, I don't know how many amps actually, because it's only sending that many to the batteries. So, because the batteries weren't completely, I mean, they weren't like real, they were at 26.5. And I think they float around 27.8, something like that. But I'm not going to turn the inverter on today. I'm going to let this charge controller completely charge up the batteries again. Get them all set up. I'll be back out here tomorrow. And probably Sunday I'll turn the inverter back on, the refrigerator and all that. And I should be done. That should be it for the solar experiment for a while. Let me look out the window, make sure nothing's smoking out there. And it all looks good. So there you go. No batteries in the house. No PV wires running through the window. I just got a hole in the wall I got to patch now. I'm going to stick some rags in there for right now. When I come back out tomorrow, I'm going to bring a bunch of steel wool and stick in there to keep the mice out and seal it up until I move all of this out to the power shed. But yeah, we're back with power again in the cabin. I love it. And then when I do move this out to the power room, once I get that built, then I'll go from the inverter to my plug out there right into this. So then the whole cabin will be electric and not working off the inverter only. So yeah, finally got to do it. Finally got a chance to come back out here. Got guy cutting down a couple trees for firewood, and I figured, what the heck, that's a nice trade-off. I get some of it, he gets some of it, and we had some fun. I think we're going to wind up with a big brush fire. But that's my solar all hooked back up. I hope you all enjoyed this. Something I've been needing to do, and now I feel good that it's all back up and running. It's all through, no batteries in the cabin anymore, so everybody's, you know, stop worrying about that. I know they produce that gas, but yeah, I'm happy. Everything looks good. And I'm gonna put the cover back on the battery box. Ran my big old wire through all of it, tied them all in through the handles, and locked it into that box. If somebody's going to steal that, they better bring a crane. They're not going to be able to get that box out of there with everything hooked up and chained up and locked up. It was about, those batteries are right around 70 pounds, and I got 6 of those. So there's 420 pounds. That cabinet probably weighs a good 100 pounds. So, you know, there's a quarter ton sitting there. I don't think anybody's going to pick that up and walk away with it. But, yeah, I feel good. I think we did good. Remember to like, share, comment, ask questions. You know, let me know what you think about this. If you got any questions, my subscribers are great. Remember now, in the description is a link to all of these items that I use through my Amazon affiliate account. If you guys buy anything, you know, I get a little cut, a few pennies here and there. And yeah, we'll be good. Also, my running across the bottom down there somewhere is a link to my merchandise. I started putting together some merchandise. I got a cup there with Max's picture on it, and St. Bernard Acres logo, and the new logo, and I did a different logo. Yeah, I'm still playing, trying to set it up. So if you guys got ideas, let me know. I think I did a sweatshirt or a long sleeve t-shirt with Max's picture on the front and St. Bernard Acres on the back. I'm still learning all this stuff, so all the help I appreciate. I've got some, Monday I'll be putting up the lights that I was telling you about, or not Monday. I'll be uploading a video where I install the lights that Patty sent me. And I've got a couple license plates for the barn beam license plate video. So it's going to be fun. You know, I lost a little bit of time here because of work and dealing with Max and, you know, trying to get him squared away. But I'm not complaining. I love that dog. That dog is like, I'm just overwhelmed by him. He's better than I ever expected. And I'm so glad we got him. He is my buddy, and we're going to be buds for life. I can tell that already. You know, he just fit right in. So anyway, I'll do more videos with Max too. He's going to be we're going to turn him into a star. But this is Joe out here at the off-grid cabin getting electric again. I'm out.